At this moment, as you may all know, the Regreening Africa program has deep partnership with implementers from the NGO world. And we are so grateful today because we have representatives from both the Catholic Relief Services as well as World Vision International who are going to also give us a sense of what guides their mission and how their work is manifested. So first, I'd love to introduce Ms. Lori Pearson. Lori is the Senior Policy Advisor for Food Security and Climate Change at the CRS, I believe, headquarters. And I did a little bit of research, and I was so fascinated to find out that Lori has worked both in Benin and in Cameroon. So she's lived there for a number of years. And Lori, may I please invite you to share?
Thank you, Constance, and thank you also for those very inspirational opening remarks that certainly resonate with us at Catholic Relief Services, and it's so exciting to be here and to be able to be part of this exchange. As Constance said, I'll share a little bit about CRS's mission-driven work and how it inspires our work in land restoration. And I should add that CRS is about 3 years in to a 10-year initiative to restore degraded land. And so this is an issue near and dear to our hearts. And I'm going to share, I have just a couple slides that I will share with you that I hope will work. Okay, I hope you can see my screen. CRS has a two-pronged mission that is very important to us in the way we approach our work and our faiths. The first is to promote integral human development overseas, in whatever shape that may take, be it health or childcare, emergency response, peace building. But we also have a second element of our mission that is to serve Catholics in the United States to live out their faith in solidarity. And that means for us helping to connect and build understanding and opportunities to serve vulnerable people overseas who live in very different circumstances than the Catholic constituency in the US. And that element of our mission is so important because we see the church really as a global actor that has a great variety of capacities and strengths and opportunity to connect people. And this is truly a mission, a global network for change. And when it comes to land restoration, the Catholic Church has placed a special emphasis on this issue. In 2015, Pope Francis issued his encyclical Laudato Si, which is a clarion call to action, in the Pope's own words, to every living person on this planet, to stop and reverse environmental degradation, to reset our relationships with nature, to fulfill our moral obligation as stewards of the natural world, and to address poverty and human dignity. And if you have not read Laudato Si, I really encourage you to look at this document. It is amazing in its insights and connections that it makes. I really can't cover the depth and the richness of it in this short time. But for us working on the land restoration platform at CRS, it's been a great source of inspiration because it so reflects what we're really seeing on the ground, of the deeply interwoven connection between environmental degradation and poverty, and the need to address the two as a single complex problem. And as we move to think about these intractable problems like land degradation and climate change, CRS is relying on the church as a critical partner, and we're trying to think beyond the successes that we've had at the project level to build on those successes, but overcome the constraints of that project paradigm to consider sustainable solutions at scale. And that really brings us back to that idea of the church as a global network, a global actor with this great diversity of capacities and strengths to bring to bear on these issues. And so for CRS, and I think Laura Mukwana touched or referred to some of these roles that the church can play. For CRS, the church has been a critical implementing partner in building technical capacity of communities and delivering services for many, many reasons, but it includes the trust that the church is able to build with communities and the incredible presence the church has throughout the world, including in very remote areas where often there are no other services. And so beyond technical partner and capacity builder, the church, because of this trust and presence and reach, also has an amazing role of community awareness builder, with the ability to share needed information that some may not be able to access elsewhere. And in turn, this role of community awareness builder makes the church an effective community mobilizer. And because of the faith mission, the church can also inspire people to action, to change behaviors that may be degrading, that can be more sustainable. And when we think about policy advocacy at both national and international levels, the church has the possibility of inspiring systems change. And so this is really only cutting at the surface of the multiple roles that the church can play, but it's why it's important that we as faith actors engage with the church, unite with one another to work together to change these systems that have marginalized vulnerable people and led to exploitative relationships with nature, so that we can bring the full strength of our faith and our missions to change these systems. And that's why we're here today, in that spirit of collaboration, to harness the unique roles that we can play as faith actors. And we're just really excited for this opportunity and for the learning that's going to happen today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Lori, that was beautiful. Thank you so much for telling us more about the guiding framework of CRS and how it entails both practical implementation, awareness raising, and also policy advocacy. I think this is so important that these pieces come together, and we're very delighted that a little bit later in the program we'll be hearing about a project of CRS in Madagascar. So thank you so much, Lori.